I removed 4 Experian hard inquiries from my personal credit report in under 20 minutes. If you're looking for speed, this is it, and I guarantee you won't find a faster way to remove those inquiries. And do you want a high FICO score? Well, you can start by cutting down on those recent inquiries. They account for 10% of your score, but the catch is many lenders have strict limits on how many they'll accept, even if you have a perfect 850 score. That's why keeping your inquiries low is a game changer, especially if you're going after business funding. Fewer inquiries mean faster approvals and more rounds of funding. And coming up, I'll show you how I got an instant 8-point jump. I'll share the exact phone number and button path to use to reach a live agent, and I'll reveal the hidden department you need to mention, and I'll explain what to say to them, even if the rep pushes back on you. And let's be clear, the stakes are kind of high with this. You should only dispute inquiries that aren't attached to an active account or tied to a business account that doesn't report to the personal credit bureaus. And why is that? It's because disputing the wrong inquiries on your credit report is like accidentally hitting the self-destruct button on that particular account. Imagine going through all the effort to remove an inquiry only to find that related credit card or loan you depend on is getting shut down. Not only does that drop your available credit, but it can also send your utilization skyrocketing, potentially hurting your credit score more than the inquiry itself. And I know it's tempting to speed through this process, especially when you're motivated to clean up your credit report. But trust me, this is not the time for shortcuts. So take a deep breath, slow down, and give yourself a few extra minutes to double check every inquiry before you start the dispute process. But you should know that you don't always need to pay to get a clear picture of your credit. So here's some reliable ways to review your report without spending a dime. You can go to Experian.com or use the Experian app. So if you're looking for real-time updates straight from Experian, this is one of the best options. You'll be able to track your inquiries and active accounts and even get tips on how to improve your credit. Personally, I found Experian.com super useful when disputing inquiries and verifying that they were removed in one day. It let me monitor every small change down to the minute and kept me updated through the process. Now, keep in mind though, that the free version only provides details from Experian. You won't see reports from the other 2 credit bureaus. So consider this when planning your disputes. Then there's annualcreditreports.com. It's straightforward and completely free as well, and it's going to give you access to 1 credit report per bureau each year. While it's not the most sophisticated tool, it's reliable for getting a full overview of your credit across Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You got to remember to write down the name of the inquiries you want deleted along with the date it occurred. You'll need this info later when you talk to the rep. Also, here's a tip. When you open your report, all you have to do is hit Control F, or if you're on a Mac, hit Command F and type in inquiries, and it's going to scroll you all the way down to the bottom to the exact point where you can view your inquiries on your credit report. So now that you've done the groundwork, it's time to move on to the next phase, and that's actually calling Experian. And I know, talking to the credit bureaus isn't exactly anyone's idea of fun, but if you play your cards right, you can get results in under 20 minutes like I did. So the number you need to call is 714-830-7000. And before you go further, during the call, you might get asked if you want to add a fraud alert to your credit report. This might sound like a good idea at first, but it comes with a lot of baggage. So my advice is to just say no to that. Fraud alerts can spook lenders, making them hesitant when you apply for new credit cards or loans. And while fraud alerts are meant to protect you, they can also create extra hoops to jump through with additional verification steps that slow down your credit card applications. So here's what's going to happen. When you call, get ready for a few prompts from the automated system. And here's how to go through that process smoothly. First, select the option that categorizes you as a business. You'll press the number 2. This usually gets you to a more specialized representative even faster. Now, once connected, answer the rep's verification questions. Then immediately request to be transferred to the special services department. Now, you may get redirected to another rep in a general department, but don't hesitate to keep asking for special services. You want to keep asking for that until you're actually connected to that department. And you'll know you've reached the right department when the rep identifies themselves as part of the special services department. Internally, this is often referred to as the fraud department. Now, this is it. The big moment you've been working towards. You've reached the special services department, and now it's time to make your case. Be ready to repeat yourself a few times and don't get discouraged. Stay patient and persistent. When they ask you why you want the inquiries removed, be clear and direct. Just say they're unauthorized inquiries. Use a confident tone to reinforce that you're certain about this. If they ask if it was identity theft, you have two ways to respond here. You can say, I think so, or it must have been, which conveys that you didn't authorize the inquiries, even if you're unsure of how they appeared there. Just keep your tone calm and assertive. You want to come across as serious about getting those inquiries removed. Now, if they ask whether you filed a formal dispute, simply state that you've already filed disputes by mail with the CFPB, FTC, and Experian. And once they're satisfied with your answers, they'll ask what specific inquiries you need to be removed. Just clearly identify them one by one using the exact name and date as shown on your Experian report. So you've put in the work, you made the call, and now you're ready for results. Now, the good news is it might appear faster than you even expect. When talking to the Experian rep, don't be surprised if the response is a little vague. They might say something like, we're entering the dispute process, which isn't exactly the instant confirmation you're hoping for, but don't let that discourage you. Things can still move quickly. My rep said it could take 24 to 72 hours for the inquiries to be removed, but to my surprise, all 4 of my inquiries were deleted within 20 minutes. Actually, it was under 20 minutes. Just 5 minutes after the call, my inquiries were marked as under dispute, and within 20 minutes, they were completely gone. The best part is my FICO score jumped 8 points instantly after those 4 inquiries were removed. This single change meant that I had fewer than 3 inquiries in the past 6 months, opening up more business credit opportunities sooner than I expected. While the waiting time can vary, many people report similar results within the 24 to 72 hour window. So keep an eye on your report during this period of time because the good news could be just around the corner. Once you remove those inquiries, guess what? If you're funding your own business, you can go back and get more money from different banks that pull from Experian. But what banks just pull from Experian that are located near you? You do know banks don't just tell you outright who they pull from. They really guard that information pretty closely sometimes. That's why I created the 0% APR business credit card database. It comes with 500 plus banks that offer no interest for up to 18 months. You'll know which credit bureau each bank pulls from. And right now, there are almost 200 banks that pull exclusively from Experian in the database. Plus, you'll see what banks you're eligible to apply with locally. So just hit the link below to get instant access for yourself, or check out the next video to learn about everything that's available inside the database. Thank you for watching.